Welcome to Field Trials, a future farming webcast exploring innovations, issues, and perspectives in new farm technology. This is Matt, your Canadian farm kid and journalist host. Thanks for tuning in. It can be hard to slow down when the growing season gets rolling, but that's what has to happen when autonomous machines are involved. Today's conversation is with Dustin Burns, a Canadian farmer who has been working with Raven's OMNiPOWER platform for several years. We discuss his experiences, why he's interested in autonomy in the first place, and how machines like OMNiPOWER fit his drive for precision and soil health. All right, Dustin, thanks for having a chat here. Appreciate your time, and you're coming to us from Wynyard, Saskatchewan. I'm saying that correctly? Yes, Eastern
Yes.
Saskatchewan. Excellent.
Yes.
And with OMNiPOWER Farms, that's a family operation. I think there's a fair number of you. Maybe we can just start before we dive into this and talking about some of your experiences. Perspectives with autonomous stuff. Just give us a bit of a background on the farm. I was doing a little internet skulking, checking out some of the stuff that other articles you've been highlighted in, and actually your own farm website. You guys seem to grow quite a range of things. Give us a little bit of background and what made you interested in kind of the autonomous platform, autonomous equipment space to begin with.
Sure. So, yeah, we farm by Wynyard of the Big Quill Lakes here in kind of south central Saskatchewan or along Highway 16. And we're a farm that began with my parents. And my wife and I came back 20 years ago. And then a good friend of mine that kind of was involved in the farm growing up and was a kind of a childhood friend of mine and family friend. Their families were friends with our family. He didn't have an opportunity with his farm, so that's Doug Reeve. He joined the farm a few years after we came back, and he and his family, and then my brother Tyler came back. I think that was around 2007 or so, and his wife Janelle, and then they've got 4 kids as well. So that's kind of the base of the family part that's involved in the farm. Of course, Tyler and I have other siblings, so there's other family, but they're not, they don't have ownership. But one of the things we are trying to do on the farm as we transition from my parents to our generation is very intentional processes. And so we've moved to full family meetings that keep everybody informed and kind of help them have a role. We have a philanthropy group. We do some donations locally and through the school in the form of scholarships, and we've involved the family at a broader scale in that way, and kind of to create through that process with the family meetings. We've also created policy around how the generation after us get to come back to the farm, because there's of course those that aren't my kids or Tyler's kids or Doug's kids that might be interested, and so we've spent a lot of time on that. And so our farm is we try to do things through great thought and intention, not just out of accident. And so that falls into what you see with our crop and our crop rotations. A farm of our size, I think it's unusual to see all the different crops, perennial crops, as well as annual crops, and then the broadness of annual crops. So it's not, we grow everything from winter wheat, spring wheat, barley, oats, canola, of course, but we also have flax in the rotation and peas, alfalfa seed, alfalfa for hay production. We feel very strongly that and grass seed production, those perennials create, help build the soil and create breaks in cycles, disease cycles in crops, insect cycles. Alfalfa as a taproot does great things to breaking through hard pans and creating vertical movement of nutrients and moisture and that kind of thing. So we've made connections with dairies around the province to sell. Our alfalfa is not we treat it as a cash crop in that we try to get best quality and we sell most of it. We do have a small cattle herd of our own, and that's mostly to make use of some more marginal land of ours, but also, just kind of completes the picture for us. We'd like to grow that, but, and we just recently hired a cattle manager we think that can make that happen with us. So yeah, we don't, and I guess as how this kind of ties into autonomy, just that picture. We do lots of work with lots of manufacturers as well as seed companies, fertilizer companies, and trials, because we believe we have a role as producers in the industry to help kind of progress development of different technologies and different systems. We use lots of, there's talk about big ag and the what it contributes to carbon and nitrous oxides and that kind of thing. We use lots of delay release fertilizers. We believe strongly in placing fertilizer at the right time in the right place. We use prescription maps, all these things because we not only because we see benefit, but for ourselves, as a business, but because we believe that that's where things are going to go, and we have the I guess the dexterity in our business to adapt. We believe we sell grains into different markets. We're not organic farmers by any means, but we definitely have, there's a demand for non-glyphosate crops. We grow none of our oats get pre-harvested.
Like identity protect soybeans and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, we don't have any soybeans on this farm, but we do.
I guess I'm coming from the far south here, so I get a little bit a little corn and soybean bias in me, but for sure.
Yeah. So and the other thing our vast crop rotation gives us is just we don't see the influx of herbicide resistant weeds. We're not having to move to crops that allow us to apply heavier rates and more often rates to manage weed pressure, because we have such a vast variety of controls through our cropping mechanisms. And we are very intentional about our seed rates, because that, a good thick crop is the best way to combat weed pressure through the growing season. And so so I don't know if that's a good enough introduction, but yeah, we basically are passionate about ag and really want to get involved where we can make a difference. And one of those places is with Autonomy, and what we've done we started out with DOT, but now is through Raven is OMNiPOWER. And so we've had, I guess this was our fourth season this last year with OMNiPOWER.
Oh, so I didn't realize you had been using it for that long. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I hope you got something out of the conversation. As ever, the idea is to explore topics, items, and perspectives in the ag tech space. So if you're interested in sharing your own perspective and joining us for a conversation, feel free to get in touch with the Future Farming team at futurefarming.com. You can also reach me directly at FurRural on Twitter. That's at FERRURAL on Twitter, or via ruralphilosopher.com. Thanks again for listening.